In the dim light, the man and the woman sat silently on the sofa in the living room, tasting the awkwardness in the air. The woman let out a soft sigh, seemingly attempting to break the silence. "Do you not like me?" the woman asked softly, a hint of unease and expectation in her eyes. "I do like you, of course," the man replied gently, his eyes showing a trace of warmth, yet also mixed with conflict. "Then why won't you be with me?" The woman began to act coquettishly, lowering her eyelashes in an attempt to elicit a sympathetic response from the man. The man smiled bitterly and shook his head. His gaze drifted into the distance, as if tracing back some memories. "Because I still love my wife," he said, his voice slightly low, tinged with resignation. The woman pouted slightly, a tinge of disappointment flickering in her eyes. But soon, she reined in her emotions and replaced them with a cute smile. "She's been gone for so long, and she's even seeing other men behind your back. You still love her?" The woman raised an eyebrow in disbelief. The man remained silent for a moment, taking a deep drag from his cigarette. Exhaling slowly, he finally admitted, "Yes, I love her." The woman's smile gradually faded, replaced with a sense of helplessness. She turned away, seemingly concealing her own emotions. "You should go," her voice was low, carrying a hint of reluctance. With a soft sigh, the man got up, picked up his bag from the chair, and left the woman's place. The night was dark, and sporadic street lights cast a pale glow on his fatigued face. Back home, yet another woman stood at the door waiting for him. The man chuckled wryly, as if he had grown accustomed to such situations. He opened the door and invited the woman in. A heavy atmosphere filled the room. The man slowly unpacked his luggage and took off his coat. Then, he sat down in the living room with the woman. They drank and chatted, trying to find a lost emotion. The woman suddenly placed her wine glass down and gazed into the man's eyes, her tone carrying a touch of determination. "How long has your wife been gone?" Her voice was infused with warmth, seemingly offering comfort but also tinged with helplessness. The man furrowed his brows slightly, pondering. "Almost a year, I think." The woman let out a soft sigh, a glint of deep affection in her eyes, as if quietly understanding the man's emotions. "Do you know who the man was that took her away, and where he is?" The man remained silent for a moment, then finally lowered his head without saying a word. Pain seemed to flicker in his eyes, a memory he was unwilling to bring up. The woman continued, "It's been so long. It's time to let go. Why hold on to someone who doesn't love you?" With that, she gently placed her hand on the man's shoulder, attempting to convey warmth. "Don't." The man suddenly recoiled, his voice tinged with nervousness, and his eyes showed a hint of fear. "Don't do that. She's watching." The woman looked puzzled, surveying the surroundings, but found nothing unusual. "Who's watching?" The man pointed with his mouth to a dark corner of the living room, where a travel bag sat quietly. The bag he had just put down had opened by itself, and a skull emerged from within, like a sinister jester, gazing at the two of them. The woman's face turned pale in an instant, her heartbeat quickening as if echoing her own fear. She could hardly believe her eyes, yet the skull remained there, silently mocking everything. A cold smile curled on the man's lips, his eyes growing icy. "My wife," he said softly, his voice carrying complex emotions. As to who killed the man's wife, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. I am Black Moon, and if you like this, please subscribe to my channel.